G'day guys, Peter here from Oz Commercial Sewing Machines. Today's video we're going to look at this button up here, this M button. It's for multi-segment sewing is the description used for it. So there's a few different features inside this button, so let's get started. So we're going to start by pushing this M button once, and you'll see on the screen that it's going to change into a different section of the software. So if we push that, and we've got a couple of different extras here. So this is this E button here. That's not an E button, sorry, it's just an E line with an arrow on it showing that you're still going to have your start and your end tack, but then we're going to program the length. Okay, and this means that it's going to be the one touch button. So all I have to do is tap the foot control and it's going to do what we program until it finishes. So to start with, so we've got our start and our end tack. So if I push this S button now, we're going to go into the E part of it so we can determine how long that's going to be. At the moment it's programmed for 12 stitches. So we can go as many as you like. It doesn't really matter. So if you've got a really long seam, you can go right up there. But what we'll do is we'll set it for, let's say, 20 stitches. And there we go. So, and we'll just go back to the beginning. And that's ready to go. So I'll sew that out and show you what it looks like. So basically that's sewn our 20 stitches. There they are there. So you've got your start tack and your end tack. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So there's your 20 stitches, all programmed in with a start and an end tack. Let's go back to the screen now and move on to the next piece. So the next part of this program, if I push the M button again, what we get is we get four-sided object. So you've got your start tack, your end tack, you've got E, F, G and H. So it's four sides. So this basically is like a box, either a square or a rectangle. So what we do now is we push the S key and you'll see we've got E and F. So as in this one we got E and F. So at the moment we're doing a square. So we're going 12 sides, so 12 and 12. We'll push S again. That takes us to G and H, and they're both at 12. So G and H. Okay, so let's stitch that out, and we're going to do 3mm stitch length on all sides. So let's stitch that out and I'll show you what it looks like. So there is our square. I didn't quite line it up in the corner, but that's because this one here, I went a little bit skewed. So if you can keep it perfectly straight, it will meet up in that corner and the stitch will not be seen. So that is, you can, if you count all the stitches, you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 on all four sides. And that's what we programmed into the computer, and that's what we've received out of the machine. So let's change that parameters there and make it a rectangle. So we've gone back in to the screen. Now we're still in this four-sided object. We've still got our start tack and our end tack. What we're going to do is, because you know where it's going to start and where it's going to finish, so you've got E, F, G and H across the top, to make a rectangle we can either change F and H, sorry, or we can change E and G. I'm going to change E and G and show you what that does. So we push the S key, which takes us down to E and F. So we're going to reduce the sides on E. So if we take that down, and we'll make that half. Okay, so we got E and F. Now we'll push this again and we'll go to G. So we'll take G down to 6 as well. Okay, so now we have input for E and G that is shorter than F and H. So let's go in and sew that and show you what we've got. And there we have our rectangle. So we've got 6 stitches, 20 stitches, 6 stitches, and 20 stitches. So we've come back to the screen now. Now we're going to push this M key again and we'll go to the next one. You can see now that we've got a multi-sided object, but we've got E, F, G, H across the bottom, and we've got G, F and E across that side. So if you do your maths and you can work out what works for that sort of shape, then we can design something that will work. Pre-programmed this because I've sorted something out just to show you what the basics of it are. So we've still got our start and our end tack. Now we're going to do E and F as 10 sides. G we're going to zero out because I don't want it. And H we've put as a 10-sided object. So what we're going to do, we'll sew that out at 2mm stitch length so it makes it a little bit smaller, and we'll show you what that looks like. So I started on the wrong degree of angle over here. It should have been a sharper degree of angle, but you can see that's sort of created like a basic, a triangle with a square underneath. So that's what happens when I cut out the G. The G actually has two positions, so I don't know where I would have used that in that particular scenario, but that gives you an idea of what you can do with just messing around with setting up the different segmented sides. So we'll move on to the next one now. So back over at the screen again, let's push this button, and what it does is it gives us even more to play with. So you can see on the screen there we've got E, F, G, H, and then H, G, E, F. So there's a lot of sides in there, We're not going to mess around with that one, but that means if you wanted to try something in there that's the same as the previous one, you can zero out a particular area if you wanted to, or you could try and make some shape or object using all of those functions. So remembering that you've only got really 4 programs, so you've got E and F and G and H, so you've got to make that object to fit into those parameters. So take a little bit of maths. So you've got to make sure that each side is going to work using each one of those. So what we'll do is we'll pass on that one because that's basically the same as the previous one, it's just more sides, and we'll go on to the next one. So what we've got here is P1 to PF. So basically what that's saying is we've got your start and our end tack again, and that basically says that we're going to do P1 is 12 and P2, P3. So this will allow you to do 15 sides. Okay, so this is where you can program in each side of your object. It can be quite interesting to deal with this, whereas you don't have, like on that previous one, you don't have the separate like E, F, G and H. You can program each side to be whatever you want it to be. So if you wanted to do like a square with the cross in the middle, like you would normally do on a bag, handle or a strap or something like that, you can program it into here. Let me have a bit of a fiddle and I'll come back to you and we'll sew it out. Okay, so now I've programmed in a box stitch into this P1 PF. Now what I've done, I drew it out like that. Where are we? There we go. And I've written down all the side numbers so that I can deal with what we're doing on with each of the sides in the system. So now that I've got this, we'll go through and we'll show you how I've programmed this in, and then we'll stitch it out. So if we go into S, okay, I've got all the sides in there. I'll take it back to number 1. So side number 1, which is across the top, we've got 12 stitches. So number 2, we'll go 6 stitches. Number 3, we'll go 13 stitches. Number 4, we'll go 6. And you'll see how this pans out when I sew it out for you. Number 5, we've got 12. Number 6, we've got 6. Number 7, we're back to 13, that's your other cross. And number 8, we've got 6. So what this is going to do, you're starting with your long section, and at each of the short ends, we're going to do a reinforcing stitch. So 1 and 5 is just a single stitch. 3 and 7 are the crossovers. 4, 8 and 6, 2, we're going to double stitch. So now that we've got all that worked out, we'll show you how it sews out. Now, I wasn't exactly right on with the corners, but you can see if you get that right, it'll be exactly right with a double reinforced side. So let's try that again, and I'll see if I can get it right on the money. Okay, still a little bit out. I might change those 13s and bring them back a little bit. So what we can do there, let's try and make it a, oops. They're not far off, but I think it's going to require a little bit more maths to work out those diagonals. It's probably going to be related to stitch length, but we've got a basic box square, so that's a good start, good starting point. So it's just a matter of plugging away and seeing what you can work out. So not all of them, they're not too bad, but it's just a matter of working out those crossovers and what they're going to be. So we're back at the main screen again now. So what we'll do is we'll push this M button one more time, and that will take us back to where we started with this counted stitch length. So that's about all for this video. If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe to the channel, as there's more of this sort of stuff coming out as we get the machines and as we get requests to do certain videos. So now to get out of this, now we'll just push the plain sew button, and that'll take us back to normal sewing. I just went and sewed a box square manually, and it comes out just really nicely. So as long as you got your stitches right and you can guide it all the way through, you'll have no problems with it. So that's not using any programming, this one here, and it turns out really nice. But the option is there if you want to try and program it just to make it easy for you. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you again soon.